the way, you're not even allowed to say the name of a crime now. This is greater censorship than back in the Howard Stern versus the FCC days. Everybody I know that's got a channel has to make up another language to say words.
I know. I've been noticing that.
Yeah, so everybody goes, oh, you can mind control. Really? They did all this and none of yous are, oh, you're like, well, I got to earn a living, so I'm going to get bleeped and blah. So it's real easy to control people here. I don't know how people haven't noticed it. I think they are, though.
The libs look down on the conservatives. They think they're all idiots.
They flip classes.
The conservatives look down on the libs. They think they're all idiots. And I think that's a big problem, which is like, I don't think anyone's a moron, but I think what we are seeing is a swaths of people completely propagandized.
Yes, it's called mind control. So you're seeing a mind-controlled population. It worked.
That doesn't mean they're dumb.
The same way when you hear conspiracy theory, which was invented by the CIA, the Dulles brothers, like the Coen brothers of Satan.
They invented the term conspiracy theory.
Yeah, they put it out in the media.
What do you think is the better term for it?
Huh?
What's a better term for it?
I don't know, but I know in court you can go, Your Honor, that when you're, on trial for conspiracy to murder, whatever, RICO, that's a conspiracy.
Right. But the term is when someone says it,
they
generally
mean a thing
it's
that's
smug.
Yeah.
It's like you're an idiot. You've been sort of captured by irrational, paranoid delusions.
Yeah, that was invented.
Yeah.
That term, the way everyone says it, was right after JFK got killed.
Right.
Allen or whichever dumb shit Dulles, well, not dumb, but everybody else is dumb. This guy's smart. So they own the media. They have all their own report. This is all shit that's public record and not a conspiracy. He came up with calling it a conspiracy theory as like a derogatory thing. And the media repeated it over and over, just like they do with every other stupid phrase you've heard.
Yeah.
And you just hear nothing but crap from almost every source because all of them are for programming. It's North Korea, okay? So you know where you live. And the message you're getting, it is North Korea level propaganda, okay? Actually, theirs isn't as good as ours. But it's that much of a lie.
I remember reading something about Obama passing something that like allowed Americans to be propagandized, but I didn't look deeply enough into it.
The way it was described to me was it'll do so like ruin free speech, or he signed a thing to end free speech. And it was like, because it trickled down, like the frogs gay, Alex Jones thing, that's a real thing that, is being described in like kind of a dumb way. From
microplastics or something is what they're saying.
No, it's a very specific chemical that a company is dumping into the water, and frogs can change sex depending on if there's not enough of, but it mutilates their genitals so that they'll transform part way, but not all the way.
It like gets into, it's like.
It mutates their genitals, but they've been putting that into the water on purpose to do that to people because they want to program you. Obama was the worst on just free speech and not free speech in saying you don't want a butter dick on your Bud Light can free speech. If free speech is in being a reporter and reporting on the crimes your mafia government you live in does.
So this brings us back to what we were talking about originally. And this is like, and I agree with you, like, everywhere you go now, if you live in a country, you're getting propagandized in some way, either by the corporations, by other countries, whatever.
It's just life.
The reason it was so chilling to be in Vancouver was because what you're seeing there is like the next step. So now, can you pull up Kamala Harris talking about censoring Twitter? Look at now. So people have to understand, like, this isn't like, quote, conspiracy theory. They really want to implement what they're doing in Canada here. I was up in Canada. And you already kind of mentioned this before we started, but I had no idea about this. Can you pull this up, Josh?
Yeah.
This is the spookiest shit ever. I'd heard, things about Canada getting weird, but a Canadian was explaining this to me. Bill C-18, many Canadians access news content through digital intermediaries like Instagram, Facebook. Bill C-18 would enact the Online News Act, which proposes a regime to regulate digital platforms that act as intermediaries in Canada's news media ecosystem in order to enhance fairness in the Canadian digital news market.
I like the ecosystem, so it's like an environmental thing they're doing.
It's fairness.
Well, that was the Fairness Act they tried to pass. They may have back in when Rush Limbaugh was big and the Clintons were in office, and they were trying to pass a thing like this. But this has like way worse shit in it as far as I know. I mean,
Can
I'm
you
not an expert.
explain this to me, like what you do understand about it? Because the way, here's how it was explained to me. If you're Canadian and you post news on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, you get strikes, and eventually your account will be banned, even if it's just linking to the news.
Yeah, it's China.
What the fuck?
You already live in China, and they especially live in China. But okay, not just that. He's got stuff in there to go back. I'm pretty sure it's in this one, C-18. Like I said, I'm not going to really study Canadian law because that's outrageous. I'll know America has fallen when I got to learn the ins and outs of Canadian law to talk about it. That's for goddamn sure. But they're talking about going back in your record of tweets like for 20 years. Oh, you can get like 20 years in prison.
Okay, so that's crazy.
That's his proposal. So because of all the dis, and malinformation, because rather than focusing on who's right about the ultimate answer, here's what you should focus on. You live under a system, a pyramid, if you will. A timeless pyramid of fucking slavery. And what are the pyramid bricks built out of? The perpetrator-victim cycle.
Yeah.
And so the way we keep the pyramid timeless architecture to the pyramid is by victimizing and then okay, so the appeal of Jesus, you don't have to think he's a real guy. Maybe he's a tulpa or an egregore. Maybe he's that. It don't matter. The point of Jesus is not love, forgiveness, that you can be forgiven. The concept that not only can you be forgiven, anybody that wants to be genuinely should be, and if you don't, it's harmful to you. Now, what's the point of that? To make people weak so we can have power over them? That's a story they'll tell you from a secular point of view. No, the pyramid's based on victim-perpetrator dynamics. Everyone's guilty, and everyone's a victim. As this comes out, the only way we get out of this. Some guy, when I was out of town and my girl sending me the Ring camera of these wiry, the kind of homeless they got here, these meth head coyote dudes. Motherfuckers coming on my porch and like they'll harass people are so passive, dude, here. It's sickening. And it's going to get worse and worse because they're like that. But I'm like, I'm going to stomp this guy to death. I'm seeing this thing. I can't do nothing. I'm in a hotel. I mean, it put me in a rage, dude. He came and stole my ashtray off the porch. And I was looking at this scumbag and he's trying to like pull the camera off because he must have gone there before. Okay. So my instinct is not to forgive him. My instinct is to get not something lethal, a taser, maybe that foam, look for him and just practice. Because I think if the cops won't come to protect me, they ain't going to do nothing for him. How the fuck am I going to not feel that way? I still can't tell you Christ compels me not to. But I understand what the weakness is and what the structure is. And that's the point. And I think these people think of the old religion, like we made up Christ. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Oh, I'm sure there is. I think it's the Shakespeare thing, the play, and everybody's got. But you audition for the role you want, and you can play that role. You could play the role you want to play in the script. And people do. But because that was written into the script by these assholes, I think it fucked them. I think they don't want you to know that. I think that they don't want you to know your rights, which is to be forgiven, because the people in the real dark shit have done things that are so crazy, whether they wanted to or not, and they've been told you can never be forgiven now. And there is no, and they do like crazy elaborate plays to little kids. So basically, bloody Jesus comes in.
So you're basically what you're saying is
forgiveness.
Forgiveness is the antithesis of hierarchical
the slavery system shaped like a pyramid. And that's why they love pyramids.
For this to work, it requires unforgivable sins, and that creates division.
Victim perpetrator cycle forever. For the pyramid not to collapse. Okay, it's a very strong. You know what I mean? Like it, and it's timeless.